Cyber warfare is an attack targeting computer infrastructure, networks, and devices of an enemy state with the intention of causing similar harm to real warfare. While a cyber attack may seem like a lessened threat in comparison to a physical attack, cyber attacks can have profound effects on a country's infrastructure. For example, the United States electric power grid is highly susceptible to cyber warfare. In 2009, it was revealed that both China and Russia had been able to infiltrate the US electric grid. While we did not see any major attacks from this, widespread power outages could lead to dramatic economic disruption and chaos. In this presentation, we will be discussing one of the most famous examples of cyber warfare, Stuxnet. Attacks like this raise many ethical and legal questions, such as, if the US government develops a sophisticated method of attack, will it end up being used by bad actors? And two, are these types of attacks even legal? It's widely believed that George W. Bush started a program called Operation Olympic Games, a joint program with Israel that used a piece of malware called Stuxnet to infect computers at the Iranian Natanz nuclear facility and cause nuclear centrifuges to fail and be destroyed. Iran has sought to research nuclear technology for decades, a fact which is in opposition to the security of the United States and other Western countries due to hostile relations with Iran and the fear that Iran would not be afraid to use nuclear weapons. Responses to this have included economic sanctions and a 2015 deal which restricted Iran's nuclear development, although the US would later withdraw from this deal.
Because the network at Natanz wasn't connected to the internet, Stuxnet was introduced by a USB drive. It used 4 different zero-day exploits, which are security holes developers aren't aware of, to change the rotational speed of centrifuges and fake the data so it appeared that they were running normally. Because it was so complex, the resources invested in it, and because it seemed designed to strictly target centrifuges, experts concluded that only a state could have developed Stuxnet. It is assumed that it was likely the US due to the aforementioned reporting of Operation Olympic Games. Stuxnet resulted in damage to about 1,000 centrifuges in Natanz, to the detriment of Iran's economy and nuclear program. Furthermore, it changed standards for cybersecurity. It is said that there is a clear distinction in cyber strategies before and after Stuxnet. It showed that just because a network wasn't connected to the internet didn't guarantee that it was secure. Stuxnet was discovered when a programmer at NATO Industrial Group, an oil and gas company in Iran, posted on an internet forum that his company was experiencing a problem with its computers. When using a flash drive to transfer files, another machine would experience the same problems and their centrifuge failure rate was going up dramatically. Ultimately, they were able to connect the problem with computers to that of the centrifuges. Though neither government has admitted it, the US and Israel likely intended that Stuxnet be used to delay the Iranian government's efforts to build nuclear weapons. Both the Bush and Obama administrations thought that if Iran were close to developing atomic weapons, Israel would launch airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, which would start a regional war with potential escalation.
After Stuxnet was discovered, NATO's Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence in Estonia requested that a group of independent legal experts study whether Stuxnet was illegal. They found that acts that kill or injure persons or destroy or damage objects are unambiguously uses of force and therefore illegal. Stuxnet was either developed or aided by the Equation Group, a group of hackers linked to the United States which helped develop their cyber weapons. Stuxnet was only one of many projects which they have been involved in, which has helped the United States government to reach its goals in covert and untraceable ways. The Equation Group is also linked to a virus called Flame, which also targeted Iran as part of the Operation Olympic Games. This virus is considered to be the most complex computer virus ever made, and it was not only used to steal documents from the Iranians and other countries considered hostile to the United States, but also record audio and video on infected devices and send it to the United States government. The Equation Group is also linked to Eternal Blue, which, unlike Flame or Stuxnet, is not a virus, but rather an exploit. It allowed access to Windows computers through a vulnerability known to the NSA for 5 years before it was leaked to the public. Once this leak occurred, viruses such as WannaCry and Pecha swept through the world, wreaking havoc on computers, which brought considerable criticism on the NSA. Now imagine that Stuxnet attack was not on centrifuges, but on a nuclear power plant. The next Chernobyl could be right around the corner with the push of a button, and this doomsday scenario is just one threat of many in the growing field of cyber warfare. Whereas battles in the past have been fought in the ground, sea, and sky, in today's world, a new battlefield emerges in cyberspace.